Good evening, darts fans, and welcome to live coverage of the finals of Week 2 of Phase 5. We have 6 players for you this evening that will be split into 2 different groups to see who can possibly pick up the £2,000 bonus prize tonight. And of course, the top 3, the 2 that make the final and the person who wins the 3rd place playoff, they will make their way to Champions Week a little bit later in the month. We're going to take a break next week, but before we do that, let's go out with a bang. Tonight should be very, very good indeed. But Group A, which was on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, we had Martin Adams chiefing that one with 22 points and a very healthy leg difference. James Richardson and Richie Burnett progressed to Group B. Gary Robson and Stu Wilson alongside Niall Culleton, all getting 10 points from that group. They made their way to Group C, which took place on Thursday and Friday during the day. And after finishing bottom of Group A, Niall Culleton turned things around. 14 points for him to get himself in the top position. 2 players qualified from this group. So Gary Robson, after playing on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday himself, played Thursday and Friday and got himself a spot in tonight's draw as well. Prakash Jiwa, Stu Wilson and the remaining players all failed to make the finals. But when it came to Group B, but what we can tell you is that's Group C right there, but Group B has arrived. Scott Marsh, who did not play in the first 3 days of the week, he was nice and fresh coming into this group yesterday and on Thursday night, and he picked up 14 from a possible 16 points. Very good indeed, with James Richardson and Richie Burnett also coming through. Richie Burnett, in particular, only came through that group by virtue of his last win of the group. A very fine margin, but now that he's in the finals, he has a great chance of coming through. I suppose one of the biggest stats before we look at the fixtures is the fact that 5 of these players have actually played 5 days this week. We're going to start with Martin Adams against James Richardson, 2 of the most experienced players from this year's Online Darts Live League. Gary Robson will join that group in his first match about half an hour afterwards. But in Group 2, Scott Marsh and Niall Culleton will start it. And then Richie Burnett will start his campaign around about 11 o'clock or possibly slightly later than that. It's going to be a really good evening. I hope you've got time to stay with us from now all the way through to about 1:30 in the morning local time. Everything will be live and exclusive on Sporty Stuff TV here in the UK. Really looking forward to your company. But let's have a look to see what's coming up first. A vast amount of experience between these two, and they will know after playing in finals before that they will need a good start. Martin Adams has only played 3 days this week. He only needed to play 3 days. Topping Group A. And at his age, in his mid-60s, I suppose getting a couple of days off after 3 bruising days is probably to his benefit. As for James, he battled during the day Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then the night sessions last night and Thursday. He's done very well to make the finals here. But I have said last night and during the day today that I think he's underachieved this year. Even though he's hit 2 9-darters here this year and had stacks of ton plus averages and has played almost 200 games.
First leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
There are things he hasn't done yet. The plan tonight is to make Champions Week.
$140.
Champions Week will be at the end of October. And we'll come back after the World Grand Prix in Leicester is completed. And I will reveal all of the players that will come
140.
to the Live League on the 11th of October in due course. But best of 7 legs all the way through tonight. 2 group games each. This is Group 1, consisting of Adams, Richardson and Robson. 2 games each. Whoever is in the top 2 positions in the group will prevail and go through to the semi-finals. The person at the bottom of the group eliminated
58.
and will walk away from tonight with £375. If you fail at the semi-final hurdle, you will walk away with possibly £500. But if you win the 3rd place playoff, which we need to have to signify who qualifies for Champions Week, you will get £750. Make the final tonight.
47.
You're guaranteed a bag of sand. If you win tonight, double it. £2,000. But what we have tonight are 6 players, and 5 of them
45.
played in Group A. Judging by the amount of games that these guys have played this week, there is no excuse for not being
41.
sharp.
Martin, you require 150.
You just have to make sure that you're ready. It's not the fastest start from either player, but Martin will be back for 90. Better first start from James.
99. Martin, you require 90.
You could say that the pressure is on, so he has to go the 60 route. Well, that's courageous, and it hasn't worked out.
$33.
That entire visit didn't work out.
James, you require 160.
So James has got to sniff an opportunity here. There's the treble. Can he get the double?
96.
Almost steals it away
Martin, you
from
require
Wolfie's grasp.
57.
He gets a shot at tops. Has 2 in hand.
17.
And misses. Signs of nerves
James,
at the start
you require 20.
of Saturday finals. One more.
No score.
He needed more than that. Unable
Martin,
to break Martin Adams
40.
in 21 darts. I don't know how many opportunities you're going to get to do that tonight. Can Martin hit 10s?
Game
Yes,
shot
he
on the
can.
first leg.
He
Martin Adams.
really does amble across the line in that first leg of the night. It wasn't a classic by any means, but boy will he take it to start his campaign.
Second leg, it's James to throw first. Game on.
We will revert to Group 2 with our second match of the night, with Scott Marsh taking on Niall Culleton of Ireland.
100.
And we will keep you up to date with the situation in each group as it transpires. But just looking at the stats for these players from the week,
125.
we could easily look at their individual group performances, but I think it's more appropriate to look at what they've done the entire week. With Richardson, he's played 23 matches.
85.
He has won 16 of them for a win percentage just a hint under 70%, which is very, very good. A running average of 92.85.
121.
And of every player in the finals tonight, that is the most impressive running average. On top of that, he has the best running
41.
checkout percentage as well at 39.9%. He's got a 170 this week as a checkout. So all of the stats tell us that he should make it through.
140.
If only it was that simple. think James would admit
140.
that he's
Martin,
not done well enough in finals throughout the year. He has won on a Saturday night all the way back in Phase 1. But he's come up short. A bit too much for his liking. He did win week 4
71.
in Phase 3.
James, you require 135.
But when he went to Champions Week, he didn't make the finals.
95.
Martin Adams looking at Motown.
Martin, you
But
require
won't go that way.
44.
If you don't know what Motown is, it's 4 double top for 4 tops, remember? The double 16.
Game shot on
And
the second
Adams
leg.
improves
Martin Adams.
by 10 darts in that leg from 24 to 14. That will improve your average and your chances of winning this best of 7 match.
Third leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Looking at Martin's stats for the week, which of course are only for Group
40.
A because that's the only group he's had to play. 15 games played, 11 wins for a win percentage of 73.3. That is the most impressive win percentage for someone who has played 3 days or more. The only person who has
60.
a better win percentage than him is Scott Marsh, but he only played 2 days. In fact, he's only lost once this week. Martin's running average is 91.49. Anything over 90
100.
for me at this level is very impressive. And Martin already has, this week, the most impressive single game performance of 108.2. Every player in these finals has hit a huge finish at some point. And strangely, the lowest personal best finish of the week comes from Martin Adams.
180.
We had to wait 3 legs for our first maximum. It comes for Wolfie and it puts
43.
James Richardson in a lot of bother. You can see his disdain in the background for what's happening. He is so furious. I wouldn't want to be that carpet right now. He's staring a hole in it.
41.
He's a very intense character when he's on the hockey. And I love that about him. Away from the board, he is anything but. He's a puppy dog.
58. Martin, you require 140.
I might have to find the 60 from the angle here. Oh, he does. That is one of the best darts I've seen this week. Catches the bottom right corner and gives himself 3 darts at tops for a 3-0 lead. Which is no guarantee of success.
Martin, you require 40.
But you'd much rather be 3-0 up than 3-0 down.
Game shot on the
A
third
really good leg from Adams.
Martin Adams.
16 darts, followed by, obviously, that 14 darter in leg number 2. He has found a way to play well after a bad first leg that he won.
Fourth leg, it's James to throw first. Game on.
The average has climbed towards 82. And with his experience, he will
84.
not care what he averages. They're just a guide for us, the people that talk about the sport. Adams and Richardson have to be there and do it. And he is doing it.
140.
Richardson averaging 76 is a worry.
$60.
I've seen him play games where he averages 76 with 2 darts. And the bad news for Richardson keeps coming.
83.
Because Adams is in a bit of a groove now. With the exception of that first leg, Adams is averaging 100.
60.
Nothing seems to be dropping in that lipstick for James. And he is showing signs of frustration. And it's always worse when you see your opponent dropping that first dart in the lipstick.
140.
He's only 3 darts away. Is he going to have to take it?
140.
He might have to take
Martin,
it.
you require 138.
There's no evidence to suggest that Richardson's going to take the 157. But let's find out if he can.
85.
I believe
James, you require
that JR501
157.
must take this. It's not going to be good for his leg difference if he loses 4-0.
40.
If he
Martin,
does
you
lose this
require
match 4-0,
53.
he desperately needs Martin to beat Gary Robson in match 3.
Game,
And that is
shots,
exactly
and the
what he
match.
is going to need,
Martin
because
Adams.
4-0 to Wolfie is the ideal start for the man who won Group A on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Clinical stuff from him to take care of that last leg in 14 darts. With the exception of that first leg of the contest, he averaged over 100 and 88.41. Considering how he started the match, that's very, very good indeed. Richardson with work to do. We're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, it will be our first match in Group 2, so don't go far. Welcome back, everyone, and a less than ideal start for James Richardson tonight, but he still has one more match in his group to play. We're going to go to Group 2, though, and we're going to see what Scott Marsh can do after a brilliant last couple of nights, and he's up against Niall Culleton of Ireland. He may be limping, but I tell you one thing, he was very impressive in Group B the last couple of nights. I'm sure you caught it live on Sporty Stuff TV. This is not his first appearance on a Saturday night. This is familiar territory for both of these players, actually.
First leg, it's Scott to throw first. Game on.
When they play during the week, they make finals. It's that simple. But if Marshy plays the way he has the last couple of nights, I would fancy his chances of coming through this group, which also includes Richie Burnett.
96.
Scott has played against Richie the last couple of nights, but he's not played against Niall this week.
141.
He was chatting to me yesterday morning, and he said he was just looking for a sweet spot. The scary thing is, Niall started the week by finishing bottom of Group A. Then he transformed
59.
that into winning Group C. So he's definitely trending in the right direction. But even after that, he was not pleased with his performance.
59.
He felt like he was waiting for something to click. I hope he's not one of those dart players that constantly sees the negative side. It's a very positive thing, the fact that he's here
100.
with a chance of making Champions Week and cashing some fairly significant dollars tonight. This is pretty good so far from Niall.
140.
This week, he has played 25 matches. He's won just under half of them for a win percentage of 48%, a running average of 86.6.
140. Now you require
Just under 38% of his doubles, and a best individual performance of just over 100. It's been a decent week for Niall.
137.
But there are definitely gears to find.
Scott, you require 106.
He knows that. Marsh's best finish this week is 160. But he's not going to take the 106.
36.
And Culleton has scored
No, you
magnificently
require
in this first
24.
leg.
Game
And
shot
it's
on
the
the
first leg he takes in
Niall
13
Culleton.
darts. So maybe tonight is the night for Niall to find that sweet spot, that release point that he's been searching for.
Second leg, it's Niall
Just
to
to
throw
feel
first.
really
Game
comfortable
on.
with the challenge ahead. He is a player that does fiddle with his darts a bit, and I don't mean different types. He has multiple options of his existing dart in different colours. He likes to chop and change them.
60.
If he is going to change anything, it will be the stem and flight combination. So we'll watch out for that tonight. So far, on that treble 20,
85.
he's been prolific. As far as Scott Marsh's week is concerned, winning that Group B by some distance.
180.
I say some distance, it was actually 2 points in the end. But he was always at the top of the group.
95.
8 games played, 7 wins, for a win percentage of 87.5. That is an extraordinary week so far. Back-to-back 180s.
180.
Get him to 81. This is a great response after losing his throw in the first leg. Marsh's running average this week,
100.
87.81.
Scott, you require
Best
81.
individual performance, 103.66. He has got to go 12 in bull here. Bullseye.
56.
What a chance now for Niall. He
Now
has
you
been
require
outscored in this leg.
81.
But he might not lose it.
Game
Oh,
shot
what
the
a
second
great
leg.
dart that
Niall
is.
Culleton.
I wasn't sure that he could hit that double 12 on the underside of that blocker. But that was weighted so perfectly. Just to snag a little piece
Third
of the
leg,
red.
it's Scott to throw
And it's
first.
2-0
Game on.
to Niall Culleton in 28 darts.
100.
Scott Marsh is playing his 84th match of the year here at the Online Darts
60.
Live League. Niall is playing his 72nd. The least experienced player in the field tonight, Gary Robson. He will play next against Martin Adams, and he's playing his 34th match.
85.
But as far as Martin Adams and Richie Burnett are concerned, they've played exactly the same amount of matches. Strange twist of fate there.
180.
That's a twist of brilliance. First 180 of the match for Niall. And he's getting positions.
93.
Can he get something sizable here to give himself the chance at 3-0? Which is what Martin Adams got against James Richardson in match 1.
30.
That one was a bit iffy. The extension of the arm wasn't pure. The three names in Champions Week already from last week's action. Jim Williams.
180.
But Marsh, with his third 180 of the match, sets up 43. Yes, Jim Williams is through to Champions Week. We're not going to see him in the Live League next year because he's got a tour card.
21.
Connor Scott and Mike Warburton
Scott, you
are going to join
require
him.
43.
Who will join them? We'll find out in a matter of a couple of hours. Double top.
Game
And
shot
it's
on the
another
third
14
leg.
darter. This time
Scott
it goes the way
Marsh.
of Scott Marsh. So this game is full of quality. And both of the averages are saying hello to around 100.
Fourth leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on. 41.
There will be 2 more qualifying weeks after next week's break. And that will signify who will be in Champions Week for the whole 6 days of action. I will be here for Champions
96.
Week for the last 3 days. But everybody's taking a week off next week to enjoy the World Grand Prix from Leicester. Double start event.
125.
Events on the calendar. But let's go through who you will see the week after next. Because Group A on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday will have Kevin Painter, former Premier League player and Players'
96.
Champion. We'll also have 2-time PDC Major Champion Robert Thornton. Rob Owen, former semi-finalist of the UK Open.
180.
Second 180 for Niall. 5 in the match now. Really good game. I feel like I'm interrupting it by giving you information. I do apologise for that. Robert Owen will join Robert
40.
Thornton. Kevin Painter.
No, you
Darren
require
Beveridge comes back with Jamie
155.
Clark. And Tony Martin makes his debut on the 11th of October.
75 left, yeah.
Group B will have Lee Cox, the Phase 4 champion Chaz
83.
Barstow, and Mark Webster, who has commentated here and played the Jack of all trades, will be back for a stint on the Yockey. And then in Group C, Sean Griffiths, Dave Pallett and Scott Walters complete the field.
80.
That's a big miss with the last dart. The single one fails
No,
to
you
get him to a
require
finish.
72.
And Culleton could open up that 2-leg gap again on double 12 again.
66.
But if you offered him any scenario from that 72, the one he didn't want, apart from busting the shot, of course, was to be left on double 3.
26.
Now, can he find it? The ideal guide for him
requires 6.
is just underneath the wire.
Game shot on the
But he doesn't need a
leg.
guide.
Niall Culleton.
And being 3-1 up, he is causing Scott Marsh all sorts of problems. It took him no time at all to dispose of that double 3. So, multiple chances to get his first win of the night.
5th leg, it's Scott to throw first. Game on.
Scott Marsh won 7 straight games
140.
up until his last challenge yesterday, where he was defeated by James Richardson by 4-0. It wasn't a good
64.
game. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that it was. It wasn't a good game. But you just sensed that Scott hit the wall a little bit after a couple of days of winning. So he doesn't know much about tasting defeat.
100.
But one thing he does know how to do is win with a deficit.
140.
2 times over the last couple of days, he has won from 3-0 down. So this is marginally easier. His big problem is that Niall is averaging 97. Scott himself is averaging 99.5. Not too shabby at all, but Niall looks as calm and cool as I've seen him all week long. Doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's going to panic at the line. And he's only 117 away, averaging around 100.5.
105.
And hitting 50% of his doubles.
No, you require
That's a recipe
117.
For this to go. 1 dart at tops.
77.
Match dart missed. He fancied it, as did I.
Scott, you require 96.
He may be back. Options. And I think he went for the worst one.
23. No,
is
you
he going to be punished for
40.
that? Niall Culleton for tops. Wow. His 3rd match dart is a real bad one, and it doesn't give him a 4th. All he can do is lay up for double 16, which he does.
Scott, you require 73.
Is that the little bit of luck that Scott required? Can he save himself on that double top bed?
33.
The wire is bent for the 2nd consecutive visit from 2 different players. So Culleton now, who's taken a long time to think about this.
No, you require 32.
Maybe he understands the complexity of this group. And this is the win he needs. And it's a win that he has.
And the match.
4-1. And you would have to say that maybe the battle of the winners of Group C and B, I think that could be the tiniest bit of an upset considering how many wins Scott Marsh has had this week. But Niall takes the 2 points, and Scott Marsh, after a decent performance, not getting enough chances at double though. And Niall can be very pleased with a 95 and change average. He has a chance to book his spot in the semis if he wins against Burnett a little bit later. But we are going to see the 2 most experienced players in Lakeside history next. That's Robson and Adams going at it at best of 7 after the break. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. I am Paul the Asset Nicholson, calling all of the games for you this evening, going into Sunday morning. Well, the second game went against the phone book. Will this one as well? Because a lot of people will fancy Martin Adams to win this, as he's won 12 matches from 16 this week. But the 65-year-old has his destiny to make the semi-finals in his own hands here. A win against Gary Robson, and he will definitely play in match 7 of the night. That's where the winner of Group 1 will play. But if Gary Robson can find a win against Wolfie, he will definitely be in with a chance. Because he plays against Richardson in match 5. If you win both of your group games, you are definitely through.
First leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
Robbo's got the darts. And like I said at the end of the last period of our broadcast, these are the two players who have more Lakeside years under their belt than anybody. That is something that Gary Robson is extremely proud of. And why wouldn't he be?
100.
Speaking to Gary a little bit earlier on, he said that he's played nowhere near his best this week. He's played 25 matches, which alongside Niall Culleton is the most played this week.
81.
He's won 11 matches for a win percentage of 44%, running average of 85.92. He's definitely better than that. But he's the only person in the finals tonight who has not registered a ton plus average this week. Is he due one? Oh, how much he would like that
85.
right now. Always is good to start with a maximum. Since then, he hasn't really backed it up with a hefty visit. But he won't mind as long as he takes the 146.
100.
Because he might have to.
Gary require 146.
Purses the lips. And accurately finds dart 2 and
110.
3.
Martin, you require 135.
That leaves 85. Well, you can't check 70 with one dart.
83.
But you can take 36. So
Gary
this is for the ideal start
36.
for Gary on the throw.
Game shot on the first leg.
Good signs for Gary Robson in that first leg of the contest. 16 darts, around a 94 average. If he can stick around that and maybe put in something of 4 visits along the way, he might get the points.
Second leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on. $81.
The one person who's going to be watching this with eagle eyes is James Richardson, of course, who has been put in the corner by Martin Adams after that 4-0 drubbing in match 1. The ideal result for James Richardson in this match, believe it or not, is a Martin Adams win.
43.
That makes things really easy in this group, because Adams would top it, and then it will be a straight shootout between Robson and Richardson to see who joins him in the semis.
45.
If Robson does get the win, it'll be up to James Richardson to win by a margin.
140.
I was talking a little bit earlier on in the evening to someone about the fact that you don't want to have too much on your mind when you're playing darts.
26.
You want to be able to just focus on winning the match as it stands. You don't want to have to win it by 4 legs to 1 or better, which is a very real possibility.
$180.
First maximum of the match for Martin. He starts to make his move.
100. Martin, you require 57.
This is for 1-all. And it was this point in the game against Richardson where he started to play properly.
Game shot on the second.
And it's happening once again.
Martin Adams.
We started with a 16 darter from Gary, and then we have a 14 from Wolfie. And it was bound to be after that central 17 and a beautiful tops
Third leg,
delivered
it's Gary to throw first.
to level this one up.
Game on. $123.
I know that these players will want to make Champions Week at the end of October, but they will want to cash that
45.
bonus tonight as well, which will make the week very worthwhile. This is better.
140.
Just watch out for the techniques of these players. Very classic from Martin. Positions the dart in front of his eye, back forward, good extension of the arm. Gary's technique has always been a little bit unconventional.
33.
He has this prod with the arm, out it comes, extension just there, prod, cups the hand, and then delivers it with a side-on dart.
134.
It's been very effective for many, many years. Largely forgotten that he's won a BDO major title. Won that back in 2005.
58. Gary, you require 104.
Is he going to win leg 3? He could do so in 12. But that just complicates matters.
12.
But if you're going to have that visit, have it when Martin Adams is on 365. That is a giant upside.
$95. Gary, you require 92.
Doesn't have to go the 25 route. Just keep it nice and easy.
60.
And that's what I call nice and easy. Just lay up for the double that you want. And the double 16 was very good to him in his last match that he played against Corinne Hammond. And it was a game that he needed to win to progress. And he won it by 4 legs to 0.
Gary, you require 32.
It's not the worst guide.
16.
If he is going to have these misses, he's got to have it on a Martin Adams leg where he's off. He cannot afford those kinds of misses towards the end of the match. He's got to be more clinical, and he knows it. And right now, he can't afford to keep missing.
Gary requires 16.
He does get over the line in 20 darts.
Gary Robson.
But when he visits the back of the room right now, I am sure there will be a little hint of relief, because the way he finished that leg was not to his liking.
Fourth leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
However, he really will have enjoyed the scoring element of that third leg.
$140.
These guys did play 3 times a little bit earlier this week. Well, let's go back a little bit further, shall we, and see what the head-to-head record is like between these two before the live league was even thought of. Adams has got a superior head-to-head record against Gary of 8 wins, and Gary having 3.
180.
We've had 3 180s in this match. Gary started
80.
with one in leg one. Since then, Martin has overtaken him. Now, you may have had a little flutter on King of the Ocky for Wolfie in this one, or indeed for Gary. King of the Ocky being the winner.
100.
Alongside the most 180s and the biggest check out of the match. If you are choosing to have a flutter tonight on the finals, please do so in a responsible manner. It's for over 18s only. BigGambleAware.org for more information. It's Martin's turn to outscore his opponent. Double 16 the leave.
49.
Absolutely. Outside of the live league, Gary has not defeated Martin Adams since 2007.
134. Martin, you require
Get
32.
a hold of that stat. Double 16.
Game shot on the
Wolfie
fourth
equals
leg.
the score
Martin
at 2-2.
Adams.
So we're down to a best of 3 scenario in this one. And James Richardson is starting to sweat.
Fifth leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
As I just correct my head-to-head sheet here between these two. It wasn't 2007, the last time Gary beat him. It was indeed 2014.
77.
It's still a long time ago. I was looking at the first time he beat Martin Adams, which was 7 years previous. They've played each other in the back end of some very big tournaments.
140.
Quarterfinals at the World Masters, the Finder Darts Masters, a couple of occasions. They played the quarterfinals of the World
95.
Championship back in 2009. Gary's best effort at Lakeside, funnily enough. He's never made the semis there. But he did make the semi-finals of the Finder Darts Masters in 2009.
140.
And Martin did win that match by 3-1.
$78.
You sense that maybe Adams is ready to accelerate. Robson knows at the back of his mind, because he has been involved in some group play stuff throughout his career, that even if he does lose this match, he has the guarantee of a head-to-head against someone else to progress to the semis.
Martin, you require
But he
100.
finds his second maximum at a great time. Does it matter?
Game
No,
shot
it
on the
doesn't.
fifth leg.
Because the
Martin
best leg of the
Adams.
night comes from Martin Adams right there with a ton check out in 11 darts. You'll never say no to that. And he's only one leg away from the
Sixth leg,
semi-finals
it's Martin to
yet
throw
again.
first. Game on.
Averaging 100, 75% on doubles. He's looking assured. And more than anything
45.
else, he looks timeless. He walks around darts venues as if he's been doing it his whole life. And like he's 30 years of age again.
140.
He's as timeless as the gold watch on his left wrist. It will always look good. Now, as those grey hairs tend to dominate the face and the hair, and he looks a bit more like Teen Wolf's dad, we don't care. We wouldn't change him for anything.
140.
We've been blessed to have him for so long in this match and this game. I've been privileged to get to know Martin a little bit better over the last couple of years during COVID.
95.
We've been involved in the Live League project. We did our first exhibition together in the Isle of Man a few years ago, which was a real privilege.
100.
But he might not win this match 4 legs to 2, because Gary's put up a really good fight here in leg 6. Uh-oh. Maximum number 3. He just sensed it was coming.
Gary require 121.
The Northumberland Massive will be thinking, come on, Gary, get this checked. Get it hit, lad.
85.
Well, if you're going to miss, you might as well hit the 14 instead of the 25.
96.
But this is match point for Adams. Wow, how good is that dart? Nod of approval from Gary.
Game shot.
And it is game shot in the match to Martin Adams. Just too good in the end. Gary Robson won't be too perturbed by that. He has lost his game by 4 legs to 2. But he will be involved in a shootout to see who makes it through to the semi-finals. Martin Adams is assured of winning Group 1 with a really good performance and the first 3-figure average of the evening. I get the feeling it might not be the last. 67% on the doubles as well. That's still very, very good indeed. We're going to get our first look at Richie Burnett when he is at the hockey after the break. So don't go far as the Prince of Wales makes his return to the finals on Saturday night. Welcome back to the action here at the Online Darts Live League for Saturday night. It's a good night for flighting. No pun intended, of course. Very similar to Elton John's song. Saturday night's all right for fighting, I think he said. But it's flighting tonight. And it is Richie Burnett up against Scott Marsh in our next match. Very much looking forward to this one, because Richie Burnett has had a very tumultuous week. But he's in the finals and he has a chance. That's what you've got to do. All he can do is play the game. Doesn't matter what you've done to get here, as long as you're here and having a chance. Well, Scott Marsh has suffered defeat already tonight.
Richie to throw first. Game on.
And this is the third night in a row that these guys have played each other. Both of them have gone the way of Scott Marsh.
85.
He continues that trend. He will have to wait to see if he makes the semis. After that defeat to Niall, we are guaranteed in the last match of this group in match 6 between Culleton and Burnett to go to leg difference.
180.
It's not like group 1. Martin Adams is already assured of playing in match 7, awaiting the runner-up from this group.
40.
That shootout between Robson and Richardson will come next. But before that, we have to find out how someone is positioned going into the last match of this group.
125.
Currently, Niall Culleton sits in the group with 2 points and +3 in leg difference. So whoever wins this match, it will depend on their leg difference and what their situation will be like going into that
60.
6th match of the
Richie
night.
require 111.
This one is definitely going to be the edgier group. A bad scoring start for Scott Marsh here.
51.
Is he starting to suffer with that dislocated knee on his left side? Apparently, earlier in the week, he was creeping up the stairs to make sure he didn't wake the family after returning from local league.
140.
He dislocated his knee on the stairs. That must have been really
Richie
painful.
requires 60.
I think it's amazing he's still throwing. Double top.
Game shot on the first leg.
And that's
Richie
a bad
Burnett.
sign, not just for Scott Marsh, but also for Niall Culleton and the rest of the field tonight. Because one thing we know about Richie Burnett is that he might have ups and downs all week,
Game on.
but he has a knack of performing on Saturday night. He has, of course, won a phase before. He won
100.
phase 2. And one of the most impressive statistics of the entire year is that Richie Burnett has not failed to make Champions Week in every phase.
55.
Richie is now playing his 210th match of the year. Just think about that for a second.
60.
210 matches of best of 7. That's a lot of darts. And he's not exclusively playing here. He has played some Challenge Tour stuff. He has been very active
100.
in 2021. Before tonight began, he had played exactly the same amount of matches this year as Martin Adams. Will they play the same amount by the end of the night?
41.
Because if that is the case, that means Richie Burnett is in the semi-finals. Just watch out for that snatchy dart. The smoother he can keep this throw, the better it is for him, and the better it is for his mental side as well. Let's have a little gander at what Burnett has done this week then. 23 matches played. 12 wins. with 11 defeats for a win percentage of over 52%. A running average of 90.41, which is very decent. That's been inflated by a couple of really good performances, including his best of the week, which was 107.36 in beating someone by 4-0 on Thursday. That was Robert Rickwood, his opponent, on Thursday night.
180.
Second 180 of the match, and the first for Scott comes at the ideal time to leave double 10.
123.
And he'd be wise to get
Scott,
rid of it sooner rather than
20.
later. The leg difference is going to come into play in this group. And with him currently sitting at -3, he could do with this.
10.
And if Burnett steals on double 10, Marsh is going to feel hollow.
Richie require 140.
He could do it. He can still do it.
130.
And Scott Marsh was scratching his forehead there. He was thinking that Burnett was going to take it.
Scott, you require 10.
He is a lucky boy to be coming back for double 5. Walking a bit like RoboCop. He needs to go around the houses a little bit here. Oh, and that leaves 3. You can't check 3 with one dart. That's a disaster. Oh,
No
he's
score.
bust it with 2 double 1s. I've never seen that before.
Richie require 10.
Just when you think you've seen everything.
Game
But
shot
what
on
we
the
have
second
seen
leg.
is Richie Burnett
Richie
break the throw in
Burnett.
19 darts. Well, I've been around this game a very, very long time. I'm 42 years of age, and that's the first time I've seen someone bust 5 points with 2 double 1s.
Third leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
I think Marshy in the background is trying to figure out why it happened, how it happened, and how he can get out of this
60.
jam. Because there is one more scenario in this group, and that is if Marshy loses again, he's out.
140.
He can't influence the last match in this group. And if Burnett does win, he will have a shootout with Culleton in match 6 to see who tops the group. Just a reminder that the person who finishes second in this group
121.
will play Martin Adams in the semis. And he's just averaged 100. So watch out, fellas. Wolfie is here and he's hungry.
100.
Just looking through the history books and what Richie Burnett has done. It'd be remiss of me to not mention
42.
some of the things that he did before he won the world title back in 1995. He'd won titles before then, including the British Match Play. But if you go all the way back to 1988, the year that Bob Anderson won his only world championship,
140.
that was the year that Richie Burnett really announced himself on the scene by winning the team event at the Europe Cup for Wales.
140.
And that's the reaction you get from
Scott,
him
you require
when
121.
he thinks he's got a 180, but he's only got 140. Well, he missed double 10 for a 140 checkout in the last leg.
Richie require
He gets the 60 on this one.
138.
I don't think he's going to stay on the 60 for double 9. Treble 18. Good try.
98.
And Scott has
Scott, you
missed
require 24.
4 shots at double in this match so far. Make that 5.
12.
Well, well, well. 7 missed darts at double. And Burnett
Richie
is staring
40.
at tops for a 3-0 lead. Well, he needs double 19 now. That really did not go to plan. He can't believe it. Neither can I.
24.
Whenever you've got 3 darts at tops, you never think that's going to happen. That double
Scott,
one bet has been a
require
magnet
12.
in this game. One dart left.
6.
Make that 10 misses at double in this match. And tonight, Scott Marsh
Richie requires
really
16.
isn't finding what he needs to find. It's darts down for him. And a bit of a think. This is a really difficult shot.
Game
But
shot
not
the
impossible,
third leg.
as it
Richie
is
Burnett.
found for a 3-0 lead. And Richie Burnett is within one leg of getting through to the semi-finals on a Saturday night once again.
Fourth leg, it's Scott to throw first. Game on.
This is the advantage for Richie Burnett right now. 3-0 up, needs one more leg. But because Scott Marsh was defeated in his first
100.
match, he knows that he has 2 bites at the cherry. And in winning his first match in this spot, that's all he has to do to make the semis. He will then have the
81.
luxury of possibly losing a match and still being the winner for the night. However, when you look at that scowl
131.
of Scott Marsh right now, you know for a fact he's not going to give up. But this really doesn't bode well for him.
100.
It is at this point which I have to mention something that I'm sure Richie Burnett does not want me to talk about. And that is something that happened on Thursday night. They played in match number 4,
100.
funnily enough, and this is match number 4. In fact, it was match number 5 on Thursday. I do beg your pardon. Getting ahead of myself. But Richie was 3-0 up.
140.
He'd won 4-0
Scott, you
in his
require
first match of the night.
170.
He was 3-0 up against Scott Marsh. And then he proceeded to lose the next 4 legs. It's the same position.
134.
If it happens again, I think Richie might start putting pictures of Scott Marsh on his dartboard at home. But Richie's got to remain
60.
focused and positive.
Scott, you require 36.
There's no guarantee that Marsh is going to hit this double 18. But he does hit double 9.
On the fourth leg.
And with his 12th
Scott
effort
Marsh.
at a double in this match, he finally finds the outer ring to break his duck in the match. It's a really good shot, because
Fifth
I
leg, it's
think
Richie to
if
throw
he misses
first.
that on the inside,
Game on.
there's every possibility that Richie's taking the 120 for the match. If you've never seen the 1995 World Championship final featuring Richie Burnett, give it a watch on YouTube sometime. It's a really, really good watch against Raymond van Barneveld. Or as he was called back then, Raymond Barneveld.
41.
The flights that Richie uses now are reminiscent of the shirt that he wore in the 1995 final. A shirt that he has no idea where
100.
it is. I'm pretty sure from memory that somebody tweeted me once saying that they own it. What a piece of history to own. How often do you see someone who's won a world
93.
title not have the shirt they won it in? That thing should be in a museum, in my opinion. It's one of the most iconic World Championship winning shirts in history.
60.
Should be there with the mane of Steve Beaton from the following year. Got to get cracking, Scott.
99.
Not sure that's enough. He needs mistakes. Will they come? Hates the lie, has to switch. But he thinks twice. He does a Celine Dion. It wasn't the right play. He's out of rhythm.
59.
And the mind is whirring right now. Probably thinking about the fact that he's lost to Scott the last couple of nights. Scott's not going to leave a finish.
47.
He doesn't really get close. So after that sketchy visit of Burnett, Marsh reciprocates. This is getting all so scrappy.
44.
Just walking towards the line as opposed to running through it. You can sense the tension. Marsh knows that he's very close to elimination. Needs a treble.
60.
Doesn't get it.
Richie require 138.
Had a shot at this earlier and got the 61st dart. He does so again. Just get the single.
98.
He has made a mistake earlier this year of busting 140. But that one
Scott, you require
was very safe indeed.
161.
Look at that scowl as he goes for the 161. The next piece of face language
60.
tells you that maybe that's the last time he is at the board tonight.
Richie require 40.
Burnett to knock him out.
Game,
That's what he
shots,
does without
and the
hesitation.
match, Richie
And
Burnett.
you would have to say that over the course of the two matches he has played tonight, Scott Marsh will be devastated with his level of play and the amount of doubles that he missed in that one as well. But he is out, and Richie Burnett will go through to the semi-finals with a match to spare. So he's got a game against Niall Culleton coming up a little bit later on. But first, before that, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, it's Richardson versus Robson in Group 1. And the winner will go through to the semi-finals with Martin Adams from that group. We'll be right back. everyone, and welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. We are about to reach the halfway point of tonight's action, and we have two shootouts for you, but two very different permutations. This one is way more important than the next one, though. The winner of this game will make the semi-finals. The loser is gone. And the loser will not be in Champions Week.
First leg, it's James to throw first. Game on.
There are certain Saturday nights where we have to get the Online Darts Live League abacus out at a very early stage. But this group and the next group,
83.
Easy as pie. Winner of this one, through. Winner of the next game between Culleton and Burnett wins the group.
180.
And for the second game in succession, for Gary, he starts with a maximum.
60.
Gary got more legs in his first game against Martin than James did. But that means nout now.
100.
Richardson hasn't had the chance to settle down tonight so far.
85.
He has not shown us anywhere close to what he can do. Averaging 75 in the first game. Gary with a 91.3 average in a 4-2 defeat to Martin.
95.
If those averages are replicated, you would fancy that Gary's going to win. I know it's easy for me to say that.
60.
But this is a very different
Gary
match with very different pressures.
126.
6 darts from here.
94.
And that will do very nicely. If you want to make Champions Week for a return at the end of October
100.
and you're in this match, you
Gary,
need two
require 32.
decent performances. A little too close.
No score.
3 very well delivered darts.
James, you require
but they don't find the
113.
target. And this will be unexpected. Something just isn't working tonight for James, and he's got
57.
to find it fast.
Gary, you require 32. Game shot.
Gary
the
Robson
first
finds
leg.
double 16
Robson.
fast with the second attempt. In visits anyway, a 4th dart at that double, and he does find a very ideal start.
Second leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
I'm sure there are plenty of dart players, darts fans,
60.
friends and family from the northeast watching Gary tonight. From places like the Bedlington Station Club, which I'm sure is shut now.
100.
He's played for all sorts of pubs and clubs up in that area over the years. Played in pretty much every local open as well.
100.
He's one of the most recognised faces in Northern England darts ever.
83.
Been around a long time, been playing for over 30 years. He's super proud of what he's achieved.
43.
And with all of the social media these days, there's a lot of attention on the big stars in the PDC, but players like Gary have got stories to tell.
94.
Been around the block a few times, seen a few interesting games in his times. That is an interview I'd love to see.
97. 45.
Oh, Richardson will hate that. But on the flip side, Gary's going to love that. Can he jump all over it?
100.
Oh, that's super aggressive. Maybe the 25 and bull was the play. But this is a great recovery.
139.
Now this is where going
Gary
25 and
Require,
bull with the last start would
101.
have given him a 2-darter. This is a 3-darter. And it's double 16. And it's in
Game
as
shot
well.
the second leg.
That is superb
Gary
from Gary
Robson.
Robson, because he backed himself into a tiny little corner there by giving himself the 3-darter instead of the 2-darter.
Third leg.
But it
it's
shows
James to throw
when
first.
you're accurate and you
Game
have
on.
one darter to double you love, you can make it count.
97.
Richardson in bother. James is very close to his double century of
47.
matches for the year. This is his 197th match. He's not going to bring up his double century this week.
134.
If in fact he wants to bring it up this month, he's got to win this match to get another 2 for the night.
140.
But you sense the more comfortable of the two is the man from the northeast,
83.
not the man from North Hants. Funnily enough, I've lived in both of the areas where these guys
140.
live. Then again, I've lived most places. I'm a darting hobo.
100.
I used to reside in Blythe, just down the road from Gary, up on the northeast coast. And I was just up the road from James Richardson for a good 3.5 years
86.
in the fine town
James
of Corby.
Require 87.
20 for bull. Guarantees the single.
49.
But something is wrong with his compass
Gary
tonight.
Require 88.
It needs recalibrating. Treble 17 this time for Gary. And not getting a shot at that segment
72. James, you
to
require
end the leg
38.
was a mistake. Can he find this? No, he can't.
30.
Nothing is
Gary
going right
requires 16.
for JR 501.
Game
And
shot on
Gary
the
is
third
taking
leg.
full advantage
Gary
of it.
Robson.
3-0 up is a dream position for Gary Robson, and he's so close to making the semi-finals on a Saturday night for the very first time.
Fourth leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
Looks like Gary's in the mood to
140.
sprint through the line, starting with a 140 here. And Richardson might be hitting the road in a matter of minutes.
91.
Another person who's hitting the road soon is Callan Rids. He's just got in touch with me, saying he's watching tonight's action before he heads to Leicester for the World Grand Prix.
140.
All the very best to you, Callan. I know you are very well versed in double start. Make it count, young man.
85.
I think he's also sent me a link to YouTube about Gary's famous falling off a hoverboard.
100.
If you haven't seen that before, it is quite amusing, but I'm sure Gary didn't find it funny because he broke half of his face.
Five.
That could be the door
Gary require
Nothing has happened
121.
in a positive manner for James tonight. You can see in the background just what
89.
this night has meant to him, and I'm talking in a past tense because it's about to end. Everything was positive coming into tonight for James,
100. Gary
but his
require
chance of Champions
32.
Week looks like going by once again.
Game,
And Gary
shots,
Robson
and the match.
will have the
Gary
chance of making
Robson.
Champions Week. He wins the shootout by 4-0, and Richardson goes into the night without an invitation to Champions Week at the end of October. It's commiserations to him, but it's congratulations to Gary Robson, who's in the semi-finals and is now within one win of Champions Week for the first time after a 92.5 average and 44%. That's a good standard, and he will play in the second semi-final. But who's he going to play? Let's find out after the break, because we now have a shootout to see who is going to win Group 2. Stay with us. Welcome back to our Saturday night action here at the Online Darts Live League. We now have two confirmed participants in their respective semi-finals, with Martin Adams going to play in the very next game in semi-final number 1. Gary Robson will play in semi-final number 2. But who will they play? It depends on who wins this match. Whoever loses it is still through to the semi-finals.
First leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
But whoever loses stays on the board and will play in semi-final number 1. The winner will play Gary Robson in semi-final number 2.
81.
But these two can flow. They can enjoy this game and get themselves in the right mindset going into the semi-finals, in the knowledge that the two
100.
eliminated participants tonight have been Scott Marsh and James Richardson. They walk away with £375. So these players now are guaranteed 500 and still have the chance of cashing 2,000 if they win the entire night.
£96.
So what we have left are the players who took part in Group A this week.
180.
And Niall Culleton is looking very good tonight, I have to say it. He beat Scott Marsh earlier with a 4-1 scoreline and a 95 average. He looked as consistent there as I've seen him all week long.
180.
Well, Richie Burnett gets the 180 to leave the 125, but a single 20 would have left a bogey number. But if he takes this
59.
out, it'll be 305 in
Richie
6.
require 125.
We haven't seen a bull 25 bull all week. And we're not going to see one now. But we might see a 125 out.
Game
oh
shot the
boy,
first
that's
leg.
good.
Richie Burnett.
I tell you what, I'm a big person for good tactics and smart play. What we've seen from Richie there is 305 and 6, but aggressively.
Second leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
What is it about Richie Burnett and Saturday nights? Well, he seems to find something. And the strange thing is, I just love looking at the stats at this flash moment.
100.
So let's disregard that visit, because he started with a 12 darter, he finished with a 125, and his average for the first leg is 125.25. A lot of 1s, 2s and 5s in there. I love seeing things like that. I like establishing patterns
100.
with statistics. That makes me a darts nerd, and I'm proud of it. These guys have met each other 3 times this week. On Monday,
41.
Niall got a 4-3 win. Averages in that match of 84 and 88. Well, things went up a notch on Tuesday
140.
as Richie defeated Niall by 4 legs to 2. Richie averaged 103.5 to Niall's 99. Quality contest, that one.
60.
And then Richie continued that
Richie
form into Wednesday by winning 4 legs to 0 with 105.47. So maybe he knows how to play Niall.
83.
Not that these guys ever want to lose, because they don't. But I guarantee you this. If they are going to lose a match tonight, you're better off losing this one.
Richie requires 78.
And winning the next 2. That's 66 left.
66 left.
That leaves double 18.
42.
He is thoroughly outplaying his Irish opponent right now. He's got plenty on his mind.
30.
But Richie
require 36.
hasn't got Friday on his mind. He's got Saturday and double 18 on his mind.
Game shot.
Double 9 is taken for a 17
Richie
darter
Burnett.
to consolidate his first leg break. I'm not seeing a great deal of negativity from Richie tonight,
Third leg, it's
which is
Niall
something
to throw first.
that
Game
he was
on.
littered with the last couple of evenings. He was really having to dig deep. But tonight it's coming more naturally.
59.
Just to emphasise what kind of night James Richardson had, he didn't win a leg.
180.
If someone had walked up to me earlier tonight and said, James Richardson will be done 4-0, 4-0,
66.
I would have said preposterous. But that is what happened. And James will now have to lick his wounds, Return to Northamptonshire. And try again, possibly in phase 6.
137.
It's probably my fault, actually, because I tipped him to win tonight.
91.
So I'll take the brunt of that one. It looks like Niall is taking the brunt of Richie Burnett right now, who's averaging 110.
57.
There will be a short break between the end of this match and our first semi-final, but do stay tuned.
83. Richie
We'll just have
require
to get the players ready
127.
for their semi-finals. There will be continued coverage. Richie Burnett is doing everything
95.
right in this match. Double after 12. The average is very fair. Oh, that's splendid.
Richie required 32.
Really good thinking from Niall Culleton to leave tops. Does it matter?
24.
Well, it does. He put the pressure on.
No, you require 40.
And he does like tops. But that's the third time I've seen him do that this week.
Game
but it
shot
just
on the
so
third
happens
leg.
he's able
Niall
to find
Culleton.
the double 16 on the end. Well, hitting the 1 on a double top shot is never ideal. But look at the composure.
Fourth
Look at the
leg,
switch
it's
to the
Richie
bottom left
throw
of the board
first.
without hesitation.
Game on.
That shows that he's in a good headspace.
$41. $101.
First time we've seen some arm flailing from Richie Burnett in the background. We'll be hoping that that does not continue, because it's a sign of exasperation.
140.
You just wonder sometimes if people enjoy playing Richie Burnett. I can say from experience, because I've played Richie for years.
140.
There have been times where I've enjoyed playing against him, but there are other times where I've really hated it, because it's a real mental challenge.
60.
It's like playing against the Tasmanian devil. He's going to run rings around you and can make you look silly.
78.
If you're not in a good headspace playing against Richie, you are going to get done. Not just on the board, but he'll frazzle your mind
100.
with all of his little eccentricities.
40.
160 is not
Richie
an
require
impossibility for Burnett,
160.
who this week has got a best finish of 167. Oh, sneaks into the 1. That makes things a little bit more complicated. He sees the funny side of it. You don't often, at this point of a Saturday night, see two players sharing a bit of banter.
80. No, you require 142.
Richie won't be laughing if this goes. And it could. Oh, so close to a shot at tops. That second treble 17 doesn't quite fall. 74 left. And he does leave double 10.
122. Richie require 80.
For 3-1. Double 10 for him.
$60.
Ooh, he thought it was in. It doesn't matter how many times you look at it, Richie, it's not in.
No, you require 20.
That one is, and it's 2-2 in a race to 4. Well, I would love to have seen the camera angle of Richie Burnett trying to see if at any point he could stare that dart into the double 10.
Fifth leg, it's Niall to throw first.
The more that he stood
Game
there,
on.
the more our referee Charlie Costerfield was going to be statuesque and silent.
100.
Well, in the words of the great band Heart, if looks could kill, he'd be lying on the floor.
100. 100.
It's been a good game, this one. I've really enjoyed it. It's turning out to be the closest match of the night. Everything seems to have gone like one-way traffic. Burnett finds his third 180 of the match. He was averaging well over 110 at 2-0. That's come
100.
down to 95, but then inflated because of that 180 towards the 100 mark again. There's a real focus in the eye of Richie tonight. This is where you make your money. Nights like tonight. And that reputation of always making Champions Week is on the line with Culleton getting a 177 to leave double 12 for the lead, if given the chance. Bullseye. Oh, Niall was nodding. And Richie trundles to retrieve darts that don't win the leg. Oh boy, how does he hit this?
No score.
He couldn't hit that. 2 darts in the way.
Required 25.
In order to hit that, the room had to be bigger. Does Richie get the lead back?
17.
He doesn't. He doesn't like that.
No, you require 24.
But this is not a guarantee.
Game shot on the
well, it is now, because he's 3-2 up as Niall Culleton. He had 4 shots at that double 12, but he was gifted the second visit by his opponent. And from 2-0 up, Richie Burnett is now behind.
6th leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Like I've said before, if you are going to lose a match, this is one of the rare situations where you can, but you don't want to. Even when you're still guaranteed the semi-finals
38.
And a shot at Champions Week and a shot at the final, that feeling of losing, it's very hard to describe. It's a feeling in your stomach.
82.
It's as if you get hit by a very small but a very real bat, in the words of Joey Tribbiani.
140.
And it lasts, that pain, until you get your next win. It's almost as if there is a pain for losing and an antidote that only you can find
81.
by winning 4 legs in your next match.
95.
There's a lot of arm flailing going on in this match. It's like a car showroom with those giant inflatable arm flailing tube men.
100. 43.
The game's pace seems to have calmed down as well.
Richie require 138.
Niall averaging 88.5, sorry, beg your pardon. Richie about 7 better than that.
81.
Possibly inflated by the first 2 legs, which were very, very good quality. But one more mistake from the Prince of Wales could offer Niall the chance to win by 4 legs to 2 to top the group. Well, a little bit of a stretch before we go further. Did it work?
Game shot.
Yeah, it does.
Richie Burnett.
Don't tell me that dart players don't like to keep fit, they don't like to keep limber. Because before those shots at double, he was doing a full trackside warm-up.
7th and final leg. It's Niall to throw first. Game on.
One leg shootout to see who wins the group then. And whoever wins this
95.
gets a bigger break before their next match. As to whether you feel that winning the group gets you an easier opponent in the semis, I'll leave that to you guys.
59.
I was impressed with Robson in his last match. He's going to pose problems for whoever he plays.
100.
But the loser of this match stays on the board about 10 minutes after this game and will play Martin Adams, who was destructive in his group, winning by 4 legs to 0
140.
and 4 legs to 2. Now, Burnett earlier was on 305
19.
and took it in 6. Most players now would go 18s first here, but not Richie. Because he's going to go for the 180. And he's going to try and take a 300 plus score in 6 again. The tactics of leaving shots from those positions are very well documented.
140.
But the tactics
Richie
mean nothing
122.
if you find a 180. 4 18s and bull will top the group. Well, the 25 would have left 97. I like that play. It's a good alternative. Single 14.
82.
Well positioned.
No, you require
Niall
147.
has one chance to win the group. And that chance is gone. So you
100.
fancy now that the Prince of Wales
Richie
will be up against Gary
40.
Robson in semi-final number 2.
Game,
And that is
shot,
exactly
and
what
the
we are
match.
going to get.
Richie Burnett.
Niall Culleton will play against Martin Adams in the first semi-final. Let's take a little bit of a look at that final dart, though. He has missed many a match dart and a leg dart this week. But the fact of the matter is, in that one, he was the better player. As you can see, 96.42 with 27% on his checkouts. That's good enough to top the group. But we're going to take a short break of about 10 minutes from now, because when we return, it's going to be Martin Adams versus Niall Culleton in the first of our semi-finals for the night. And the winner will be in Champions Week and the final for Saturday night. Stay with us. We'll be back soon. Hello all and welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. It is semi-final time. You caught a glimpse there of our first semi-finalists. Niall Culleton is now up against Martin Adams for the 4th time this week. But this is by far their most important meeting of the week. They were both involved in Group A, as were our two semi-finalists for game number 8 of the night. But the Kilkenny werewolf is now trying to take out the wolf.
It's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Makes sense. The moon's out. The sky is dark. The two wolves will howl.
100.
I wonder what's going to happen here. Through their 3 matches this week in Group A, 2 were won by Martin.
100.
1 by Niall. The one that he did win was 4 legs to 3. What he would give for that result right now. But overall, these guys have played each other 7 times this year.
125.
Some matches in late April. A match on the 1st of May.
45.
Which was in finals. That was won by Martin by 4 legs to 2. And then, of course, the 3 matches this week. So Martin's won 5 of their 7 meetings. Seems to have the measure
100
of the younger wolf. But the winner of this game is assured
85
of coming back for Champions Week at the end of the month. What kind of lineup could we possibly have when it comes to that Champions Week? We've already got 3 players in the hat. And they are strong players. Connor Scott and Mike Warburton. And of course, the winner of Week 1, Jim Williams.
81.
Whoever comes through
Martin, you require
out of these 4
36.
players, we are guaranteed quality. Double 17.
Game
Oh,
shot
that'll
the
do.
first
That's
leg.
36 points in
Martin
2.
Adams.
But I've got to say, at times tonight, that double 1 bed has been gathering darts like dust in my trophy cabinet
Second
for the last
leg, it's
10
Niall
years.
to throw first. Game on. $87.
That all looked very easy for Martin Adams. There needs to be more resistance from the Kilkenny werewolf.
41.
He may need some mistakes from Martin as well, just to get a foothold in this match. But that's the first dart he craves.
140.
It makes the next 2 so much easier. He can under-deliver the 2nd and 3rd darts and gather over the top of those moulded flights. If he goes above the 60 or too far down into the small 20, he's still searching for that perfect shot. But job 1 tonight was to make the last 4.
100.
That's been accomplished. Now it is a knockout scenario. They are guaranteed £500 for getting this far. But if you win your semi-final, you are guaranteed £1,000.
180.
I'm not going to cast aspersions at Martin Adams for leaving 159 because he couldn't leave a finish from his position.
28.
But that 28 from Niall has really invited Martin into this leg. Things have changed in the last 6 darts. Treble 18.
83.
Smart stuff.
Now you require 146.
Niall's biggest finish of the week is 146.
121.
He leaves it small. but arguably
Martin,
too small
76.
to double his lead in this first semi-final. He will need tops now that he has that single 16.
36.
Just overpitched.
No, you require 25.
Just double 10.
Game shot on the second leg.
He was
Niall
very
Culleton.
close to leaving double 5 there. And if you look at this single 5, that is way too close to that 12, which would have left him on an odd number.
Third leg, it's
and possibly
Martin to
only
throw
one
first.
dart to double.
Game on.
But you'll take the little bit of fortune and you'll take the double that you did hit.
$57.
It's moments like that where you are tested. And I've already seen from Niall enough this week to suggest
64.
that when a dart happens that he doesn't expect, he can respond very quickly. So far, it's a good performance from Adams. His average is staying in the mid-90s,
140.
which is where he has been all night long. 88.4 in his first match, 100 in his second. So he's around that 94 mark for the night. So that's the standard he's delivering. Whereas Culleton, he started with a 95 average against Scott Marsh. Then came down to an 88 in his last match. So he's a little bit lower.
100.
But this performance currently is at 82. That can't continue.
123.
How significant is it that Martin Adams has the throw in this match? Martin threw first for the bullseye shootout in the practice room by virtue of winning his group. That is the way it works on a Saturday night. If you win your group, you get the option of going first for the bullseye.
140.
He's obviously
Robson,
won the bullseye
79.
and chosen to throw first, which is very wise. He's going treble 13. And he's got it.
Game shot on the third leg.
I think that is a magnificent checkout. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful 2-dart kill. But going 13s first on 79 with your opponent on something similar,
fourth leg, it's not
that could have got
game on.
a little bit out of control. The reason why people go 19s first on 79
100.
is to try and guarantee with 2 singles, 1 shot at a double, instead of 1 shot at the bullseye. When you hit it, you look like a genius. If you miss the bull on dart 3, we have every right to question your tactics.
140.
A little earlier on in the evening, I compared Martin Adams to Michael J. Fox's dad in Teen Wolf. So does that make Niall Culleton Michael J. Fox? If you do watch this back, Niall, that is not a jibe in any way. I'm a big Michael J. Fox fan.
180.
And if you look at the movies he's done, and of course the TV shows, if he wins tonight, we'll have to ask him what the secret of his success is. If you don't get that 80s movie reference,
140.
it was completely wasted on you.
81.
Treble 19. 12 and bull. Get the 12, Niall. No reason to be greedy right there. I believe he's got 35 left.
35 left, yeah. 49.
It'll be fine as long as Martin doesn't take
Martin,
this.
you require 138.
But I've seen him take plenty of these. Not right now from the man who has been closest to a 9-darter this week by missing double 12.
95. No, you require
He's
32.
hoping for mistakes from the Kilkenny Werewolf. And
No
those
score.
mistakes have arrived. You can't do that against Wolfie.
Martin, you require 43.
Not when he's averaging 104. Double 16 for him.
Game shot.
Like I said, you just can't do it. He might be 65. He might be closer to a Zimmer frame than you, Niall, but you can't do that. 3 clean darts to level things up. And now Adams has the chance to serve it out for 4 legs to 1 and a place in the final. The opportunity of playing for that £2,000 bonus prize tonight.
140.
They are withering away. But his chance of Champions Week might hinge
100.
on a different match. It may have to come in the 3rd place playoff, which precedes the final tonight.
$60.
I'm not going to lie, I am very much looking forward to the next match. Because when I was growing up,
55.
one of the dream matches that I wanted to watch was Richie Burnett versus Gary Robson, because Gary Robson was my local hero for at least 4 or 5 years. And growing up, I used to mimic Richie Burnett's throw, so I'll be fascinated to see what happens in the next match, and there are bits of narrative that I'm saving
95.
for that match.
Martin, you require 161.
But let us see if Martin can convert 161 and 6 to demote Niall Culleton to a 3rd place playoff
30.
and to guarantee his place in Champions Week at the end of October.
140.
This match is not over.
Martin, you require
By virtue of a bad visit from Martin and a good one from Culleton. Starting to falter a little bit.
41. No, you
He's only
require
come up with
111.
71 points in 6 darts. And that 5 means that Niall can't finish the Nelson.
$79.
Can Adams
Martin,
finish this?
require
Earlier in the
90.
night, he went bull first here. He's got to go 15 bull. The guide is a beauty.
65.
Couldn't find it. So 1 match dart has slipped
No, you
by.
require 32.
Culleton survives for now.
Game shot
And he
on the
does
5th
survive.
leg.
He takes
Niall
leg 5.
Culleton.
And he still has that opportunity of getting through to the final if he can find 2 straight legs against the Martin Adams in the background, who was
6th
just
leg,
doing a
it's
little
Niall
bit
to
of
throw
minor
first.
calisthenics there.
Game on.
Just exercising that right shoulder a little bit towards the back end of 2020.
55.
Playing the live league from our own homes. He did have a bit of trouble with that right shoulder, but let's face facts. This is the 212th
100.
match that Martin Adams has played this year. By the end of the night, the 2 most experienced players
100.
in live league this year will have played exactly the same matches. Same amount of matches. 213. That's Adams and Burnett. Could that be our final?
83. 96.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that he's played Well, he's playing in his 212th match. We played a lot of darts in 2020 from our homes, but we didn't play this many.
180.
That's only the third 180 of this match, believe it or not. But it sets up another chance to win this match for Martin. And Culleton is going to pressurise that shot.
140. Martin, you require 130.
He's already had a pop at this finish in this match. This time he does get the 60 to start it. Double 12.
126.
Two match darts have been missed now in two separate legs.
110.
So Culleton survives again. He could still survive, but can't find the 57 he needs for a bullseye saver. And Adams is going to get match dart number 3.
29.
He can have a 4th or a 5th.
Martin, you require 12.
If he chooses. Double 3.
Game,
Superb shot to take a 4-2 win against Culleton. He has owned him this week by beating him 3 times from 4. And Martin Adams is going to be involved in Champions Week at the end of October. But he has an opportunity at the end of the night for the £2,000 prize. Another great performance. 99.13 and 44%. He has been really consistent this evening. But who is he going to play in that final? Is it going to be Richie Burnett? Or is it going to be Gary Robson? You'll have to stay with us to find out, because that's coming up after the break. Good morning and welcome back to our action here at the Online Darts Live League. I'm Paul the Asset Nicholson and I will be guiding you through the second semi-final between Richie Burnett and Gary Robson. Burnett getting through his group with Marsh and Culleton earlier now has the chance to maintain an unbeaten record tonight. He's already won by 4 legs to 1 and 4 legs to 3.
First leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
And he has an unbeaten record against Robbo this week as well. So the omens are all good. Will that be the case? They both played in Group A this
100.
week. And throughout the course of this week, Robbo just did not have
60.
A very good time of it against Richie. The games were fairly close though. Richie won 4-2 on Monday and then 4 legs to 3 on both Tuesday and Wednesday.
59.
But the better averages in every game belong to the Welshman. But here is a stat that I have unearthed
100.
based on the databases that I have access to. And I still can't believe it. Outside of the Online Darts Live League, they're both the age of 54.
140.
And they've never met. When I was growing up, this was a dream match for me to watch. I am amazed
140.
that there is no record of a meeting outside of this room. I am sure they have played each other, maybe in an exhibition, maybe in a local tournament, somewhere where the result was not recorded. But the fact that we don't have a record of a meeting between the two has blown my mind.
99.
But let's address the most
Richie
important thing of this match. The winner will play Martin Adams in the final tonight and will be guaranteed a shot at Champions Week. Bullseye.
78.
Robbo gets his first break chance here in
Gary
leg 1.
require 102.
Perfect. Double 16. Ooh, that was close.
Richie require 43.
He's going to use the tops option. That's a change of tactic
Game
from
shot
a little bit earlier in the week.
Richie Burnett.
But 43 and 2 to protect his first leg with the throw. He will take that all right.
Second leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
Now, in unearthing, that was a bad choice of words for me. In unearthing
46.
that stat about the fact that they've never met, I thought I'd dig a little deeper into the careers of Richie Burnett and Gary Robson to see who they have their worst records against.
140.
Now, here's one for you. I'm going to start with Gary Robson. In his career, he has never beaten Jamie Hughes, famous player from the West Midlands,
180.
nicknamed Yozza. We get our first 180 of the game from Robbo in a leg where he'd love to protect his position.
60.
But he's never beaten Jamie Hughes in 4 years of trying between 2013 and 2017 and has lost 7 times.
100.
The majority of those matches have all been best of 7 as well. In fact, 6 of the 7 have been best of 7. And the other one was best of 9. And he lost that one by 5 legs to 0.
34.
So, Robbo will be glad that he's not playing Yozza tonight. But what about Richie Burnett?
59.
Who's he got his worst record against?
Richie
We'll hold that thought, and
167.
we'll come back to it in leg number 3. Because we could get a 167. Bullseye. Oh, he's getting closer to it.
142.
He really thought that was going in.
Gary, you require 116.
And it could have been 2-0. It's not going to be 1-all
92.
if Richie finds half the bullseye
Richie,
now.
you require 25.
Just gets the single 9. This corner has been troublesome.
17.
He's had bother down there tonight and yesterday.
Gary, you require 24.
Maybe that's why he's gone for tops a little bit earlier.
Shot on the second
But
leg.
Gary Robson dodges a couple
Robson.
of bullets. In fact, he dodged 3 bullets in that previous leg with a shot at the bullseye and 2 at double 8. But he is levelled up at 1-all.
Third leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
The loser of this game will play Niall Culleton for a place in Champions Week. And there will be a financial incentive on that match as well.
99.
It's not just the opportunity of Champions Week. It's £250 on the line as well. The loser of that third place playoff
100.
will walk away with £500. Third place gets £750. I'd stay away from that.
177.
And that's why he went south. Smart play from Richie. I was going to tell you who Richie Burnett has got his worst record against.
73.
In similar fashion to Gary's record against Yozza Hughes, there is a player that has beaten Richie Burnett 6 times in ranking events.
100.
And Richie has not won 1 match against this person. I'll give you 10 seconds to think of who it could be.
60.
Let's see if he can take the 125 though.
Richie require 125.
65 left. Pick your option. Treble 19's an option for double 4. Oh, look at this. Creative. Double 16.
32 left.
For a second 125 checkout of the night in 2 different ways.
109.
I think he thought that out pretty well, but he has to return to a double that, like I said, has been troublesome. I'll give you a few extra seconds
92.
to figure out who Richie's got his worst record against.
Richie requires 60.
Let's see if he can go 2-1 up first. He's got multiple visits at it,
Game shot.
but he takes care of business fairly swiftly. And he has that unbeaten record against Robbo this week. And if he makes it 4 out of 4, we're going to be seeing Richie again at the end of October.
Fourth leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
Okay, I'll put you out of your misery. It's Alan Warner Little,
140.
who for a period of 10 years between 1997 and 2007 defeated Richie Burnett 6 straight times.
125.
And we're not talking about small events here. We're talking about World Masters, World Match Play, World Grand Prix, Las Vegas Desert Classic.
96.
Warner Little owns Burnett in their head-to-head. It's really interesting looking at things like that. And there are other players who have unbeaten records against Mr.
100.
Burnett. Stephen Bunting has beaten him 5 times. Adam Hunt of County Durham has beaten him 4 times without defeat.
93.
And up until recently, Nick Fulwell had a fantastic record against
94.
Richie Burnett. But Nick Fulwell, who played this week here at the Online Darts Live League, did not make the finals. Richie did. And Robbo on the charge in leg 4. He's doing a good job of keeping this close, but he has to break Richie Burnett at some point because he won the bullseye.
140.
Now is not the time
Gary requires
to be missing your favourite double.
Game shot.
And he doesn't.
Leg.
It comes up
Gary
trumps.
Robson.
And it is his best leg of the night, I feel, because the pressure is starting to mount. We are now into best of 3 to see who makes the final.
Fifth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Whoever makes the final,
43.
it's a bit of a dreamy one, really. You could have a battle of world champions between Burnett and Wolfie. Or you could have the two Lakeside legends in Robbo and Wolfie.
60.
Either way, it's a great game. There was a bit of a twinkle in the eye of Gary Robson after he made it through the group.
100.
He badly wants to come back at the end of October for a crack at that prize at the end of the rainbow.
60.
He would admit that he's not played his best darts this week. There is more to find. But in order to find it, sometimes you need opportunity. And you have to carve that out for yourself.
59.
That's pretty good. He can attack that flight.
140.
That's what he does. When he gets a dart in the 60, he doesn't aim for the 60 afterwards. He aims for the flight and allows the physics of the dart to cluster.
180.
Not for the first time tonight. Richie gets the tactics wrong. But he gets the execution
60.
right as Robson's got 120 on the floor.
Richie require 119.
Oh, that could be enormous. I sit here with my hand on my head. I can't believe what I've just seen. Robson must feel hollow. Double 16.
103.
He should be sitting on 61, not 181. The difference between sitting on a
60.
two-darter and not finishing
Richie requires 60.
on a possibility at all.
Game
And it
shot
plays
on the fifth
in
leg.
leg 5.
Richie Burnett.
I can't believe what I've just seen in that leg. That was cruel. But you've got to be merciless in this game, and that's exactly what Richie Burnett has just done.
Sixth leg, it's Gary to throw first. Game on.
Sometimes that does happen. It's happened to me before as well.
85.
Not very often, because I've never thrown the dart as hard as Gary. But if Burnett goes on to win this, that has to be the turning point.
140.
Just remember what happened when Gary Anderson had 3 on the floor in a world final.
140.
Just remember, that happened the first leg of a set. What did Gary Anderson do? He won that set. Well, that one sticks in the board.
180.
I don't know how he found that gap. But if Robbo can win after what he's been hit with in the last leg and a bit, that will say a lot about him.
101.
Burnett's average is climbing.
100.
It's up around 104 now, and Robson is at the point where he needs Burnett to miss.
99.
He's played well in this game. This is one of his best games of the week, Robson.
81.
95 average, 67% on doubles. But Burnett has been better. Bullseye for the win.
Game,
And he finds
shots,
a beautiful
and the match.
81
Richie
checkout.
Burnett.
And he is in the final against Martin Adams. But Robson's hope of making Champions Week for the very first time, it will now rest on the third place playoff. Richie Burnett is guaranteed £1,000 for his efforts on Saturday night, and he has a chance to double down. 103 average from him with 36% on the doubles, and defies some good stats from Gary Robson there. That was a very fine match, but you have to say, everything changed when Robson had 2 trebles on the floor. So, we're going to take another short break now, but when we return, Robson will return to the Ocky to play against Niall Culleton, and Champions Week is on the line. So stay with us for that. We'll be back soon. Good morning once again and welcome back to the Online Darts Live League here. We have a third place playoff for our Week 2 finals to come, and it will precede our final between Adams and Burnett.
Gary to throw first. Game on.
Huge incentive on this match. It's not just the extra £250 for the finals night effort.
60.
But the winner of this one will be invited back to Champions Week at the end of October.
140.
And make no mistake, they want to come back. In Champions Week, there is, at the end of the rainbow,
38.
£6,000 up for grabs. You can't have a crack at that if you're not here.
50.
And the person who loses this one will not have that chance.
$137.
Interesting dynamic with this one because they have played 5 times this week already.
25.
They're having their 6th meeting in 6 days. Currently, Niall Culleton is ahead in the head-to-head by 3 games to 2. He has won the last 2, which both
96.
took place in Group C on Friday and Thursday morning. But this is far and away
59.
the most important of their meetings this
170.
week. Doesn't have to take this right now. But he might.
145.
Give it a good scare. And if he converts this 25,
Gary required 25.
he will hold in leg 1. He won the bullseye.
9.
But he hasn't taken it in 6 visits.
No, you require 128.
I don't think Niall was expecting this chance. But another 54 would be good. Double 10.
108.
Didn't cash in.
Gary requires 16.
Back to double 8. Across the board.
8.
And fails to register
No,
leg
you
1.
require 20.
Is that going to bruise his confidence?
Game shot on
Because
the first
Niall
leg.
has stolen
Niall
that leg in
Culleton.
20 darts. He shouldn't really have had the opportunity to take that leg. And Gary's going to be kicking himself that he let that one slip.
Second leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
Is that a springboard to what Niall can possibly
60.
do to come back in a few weeks? We're all taking a week off next week. There'll be no Online Darts Live League.
140.
You'll have to settle for the World Grand Prix darts. But when we return, we will have the likes of Kevin Painter,
83.
Robert Thornton, Robert Owen, Darren Beveridge and Jamie Clark of Scotland, and England's Tony Martin taking their place in
60.
Group A come the 11th of October. Group B will be Lee Cox, Chaz Barstow and Mark Webster, joined by
121.
positions 2 and 3 from Group A in that week. And then Sean Griffiths, Dave Pallett and Scott Walters will take their place in Group C.
100.
So that's your lineup for just over a week's time. But we have 2 matches left for this
83.
week. And there's a lot on the line. The 2 in the final know they're coming back at the end of October, but one of these players isn't.
60. No, you require 154.
How many times in his career has Gary taken out a 1-4-1?
84.
What he would give
Gary
for one now.
require 141.
Traverses over to the 18s with success.
No, you require 70.
But he might be 2-0 down.
Game
And he is 2-0 down. It seems to me like Niall Culleton has a Gary Robson voodoo doll, and he keeps poking it. And at 2-0 here,
third leg,
he's looking for a third consecutive win against Gary in as many days. Well, technically, I'll say it again. Technically,
45.
It's not 3 consecutive days because it's now Sunday. He didn't play him on Saturday.
100.
We'll say 3 in as many matches then. But Gary will be hoping that's not the case. And I'm sure all of his fans up in the northeast,
44.
his friends and family, will be hoping that he can recover from 2-0 down.
140.
It's all to do with that first leg. He shouldn't have lost it. He knows that. But that has got to be put to the back of his mind.
100.
And he's got a job to do now, which is proving to be very difficult indeed. It's being made to look even harder because Culleton is starting to play properly.
59. No, you require 121.
3-0. He's got 6 minimum at this.
97.
And that's the ideal setup for a double that's been very kind to him tonight.
59.
This is getting away from Gary very fast.
24. Game shot.
Niall Culleton is playing fast, effective darts. And this is not his style. He's usually quite methodical. But he's playing like he's got a taxi booked.
Fourth leg, it's Niall to throw first. $41.
The last time Gary Robson was in a position like this, it was in Group B a few weeks ago. And he was in a last leg shootout with another
59.
Irishman in Conor Hennihan. The winner of that last leg shootout got to the finals. He missed out.
85.
What is it about playing Irish players in last game shootouts to get to a next stage?
140.
He's going to have to graft like nobody's business to get through this one, to win 4 straight legs.
85.
Against, I'd like to say a rampant Niall Culleton, but it's not rampant. It's just effective.
60.
And he's in again. And he does leave 150 to win the match by 4-0. We've already had 2 4-0s tonight, and they were both against James Richardson.
140. No, you require
Could we get another?
150.
Not yet, at least. And now Gary's got to resist.
94.
This is where he's got to get a clean 60, 10 and double 16. Stay there. Try to get the shot at double
50.
11.
No, you require
But I think the writing
56.
might be on the wall. Tops.
Game
And Culleton is in Champions Week, just like that.
Culleton.
17 darts, and he was the better player. But that first leg of the contest told a huge story. You see Niall Culleton there with the celebration. He's loving the fact that he is coming back to Champions Week at the end of the month. So he's got to get himself some transport booked. 88.41 to get the job done by 4-0. That's the equivalent of 17 darts all the way through. So 68 darts was good enough for him to progress through that. Congratulations, Niall. We'll see you at the end of October. But who are we going to congratulate for winning this week? Is it going to be Adams? Is it going to be Burnett? You'll have to come back after the break to find out. Welcome to the last match of the week. It is week 2 of Phase 5, and we have a legendary lineup in this final with Martin Adams, the 3-time Lakeside champion, against the 1-time world champion Richie Burnett. What more could you ask for a last match of the week? Martin is going to throw first in this final after winning the bullseye in the practice room. There is £1,000 up for grabs in this best of 7 leg match. And the title of Week 2 champion. They are both headed to Champions Week with Niall Culleton now.
First leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
But in order to win this week, Richie Burnett is going to have to do something that he hasn't done this week. And that's beat Martin Adams. And he starts perfectly. Martin has played 18 matches this week. He has won 14 of them.
81.
What an extraordinary effort. If he wins a 19th, he will bag £2,000. Richie Burnett has played 27. Well, this is his 27th match. He's played 26. He has won 15. So his win percentage is not as good as Martin Adams.
45.
And one of the reasons for that is that Martin has not been defeated since Wednesday morning. He is on a 6-match winning streak.
140.
And with him having the darts in this match and him putting in very useful stats tonight in a consistent manner, I have him as a marginal favourite.
21. Martin, you require 103.
More than a marginal favourite to take this first leg. Big stretching going on in the background for Richie in preparation for leg 2.
87.
But there's a little piece of leg 1 to finish off yet. Not wasting much energy
78.
in trying to get closer to Martin's position here.
Martin, you require 16.
Because you feel leg 1 is over. But in how many darts?
$12.
That's to be confirmed. Martin has had some of his best performances against Richie this week, including his very best performance of the entire week, of a 108.2 average on Tuesday. But he finds a 16 darter to start things off here, which is around a 94 average. So if he maintains that, Richie Burnett has got to raise his game by some distance.
Second leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
These guys have been playing each other since the early 90s.
180.
The first meeting that I have of these two was 1994. 27 years ago. When I was the mere age of 15. When Richie was 30.
190.
He's the only dart player I know who can set up a 9-darter with a dismount on the follow through. He's had a shot at a 9 in the final match of a Saturday night before.
Richie,
he missed the double 18.
141.
He has had a 9 since then. He's not going to get another. Not yet, at least.
60.
Well, the smart play from here is to go 25 and bull first, but Martin's not going to do that. Can he leave a finish? This is where you go 25, but he's not going to do that.
140.
And he leaves 175.
Richie require 81.
I hope you're learning at home. 71 left, leaves treble 13. And Richie is very fortunate
41.
that Martin does not have a finish. He's going to leave one now.
95.
So Richie would be wise to get rid of this
require 40.
pronto.
Game shot
And
on
he
the
does.
second leg.
His double
Richie
top
Burnett.
shooting, it has to be said, has been very, very good at times this week. And it seems to me like he's leaving it more than double 16 now.
Third leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Through phases 2, 3 and 4, we could look at the behaviour of these two. Martin Adams won week 1 in phase 2. And he came 4th in Champions
60.
Week. Behind James Richardson, Sean McDonald and, of course, the phase 2 champion Richie Burnett, who ended up 3rd in week 4, leading up to that
58.
Champions Week win. They returned in phase 3. Richie came 3rd in week 4 again. And Adams failed to make Champions Week in phase 3.
140.
Adams was back to winning ways in phase 4 as he won week 3, but failed
95.
to register a spot in the Champions Week finals. Same goes for Richie Burnett, but what he has done in getting to this final has to be commended.
60.
In phases 2, 3, 4 and now 5, he has made Champions Week every time. He's the only player who has done that. Say what you like about his histrionics and his little idiosyncrasies, but he delivers.
$140.
And these players are playing identical amounts of matches right now. This is their 213th match this year at the Online Darts Live League. Quite astonishing that they've played exactly the same amount of matches.
44. Martin
Got a different amount of wins though. Adams has got 130 wins. Burnett's got 119. He might have this third leg.
89.
But if Richie takes it on this,
Richie require
things will change.
164.
Bit too overzealous on that shot and the next.
59.
You don't suppose that Adams
Martin, you require
is going
12.
to miss double 6 for his second 16 darter
Game shot
in this match so far. So
Martin
he is
Adams.
opening the door for Richie Burnett potentially to take a break of throw, but he's not able to find a 15 darter or better
Fourth
to go
leg,
through
it's
that
Richie
door.
to throw first. Game on. $60.
However many matches you have seen with the Online Darts Live League this week, we thank you for your company. We thank you for tuning into Sporty Stuff TV this evening and indeed this morning. We really do appreciate your company. We hope you've been entertained by these darters, some of the best of all time. Plenty more to come in the coming weeks.
60.
And there is more to come from these two. Well, I wish I knew what shoots through the veins sometimes of Richie Burnett, because that follow through, that was almost like break dancing. guarantee you that Martin Adams has never played against anybody who does that. It's almost as if every time he lets the dart go, Thor is sending some lightning down from Valhalla. Or the kingdom of Asgard.
$140.
Well, Adams is looking to be the guardian of the Week 2 galaxy. He's in position to take what could be a catastrophic break of throw for Burnett if he wants to take the top prize.
59.
One position he hasn't had in phases 2, 3 and 4 is second on a Saturday night. Burnett has been third, he has been first, but he's never been a runner-up.
83.
And even Martin Adams is getting in on the act there. A little bit of a hooky follow through. What is Richie doing here? 265. You've got to go 19s, man.
140.
And yet again, how many times has he done that tonight? Got the tactics wrong, but good 60 shooting has got him out of jail. Double 18 for that break of throw for Wolfie.
92.
Now Burnett has had 2 cracks at a 125 tonight. One was successful, the other one was missed on double 16. This one is the showman way. Bull 25 bull. He has got to go for it. It makes sense. Make your mind up, Richie. He's going to go treble 17. No. Picking off. He doesn't like the lie. He's going to go 51. And it works. 3 different ways.
101.
And he's had a shot at double all 3 times.
Martin, you require 18.
Double 9 for 3-1. What a cushy guide. In off the cushion.
No score.
But didn't penetrate the air enough.
Richie, you require 24.
Just died and went to the left. So Richie goes for double 12. It's next door neighbour and finds the target.
Richie Burnett.
He is a lucky boy to be 2-2, and he just waves his hand in apology at the back end of that little bit of footage because it should be 3-1 Wolfie.
5th leg. It's Martin to throw first. Game on.
We've only had 1 match go the distance tonight. That did involve Richie Burnett.
180.
That is our 4th 180 of the match. And it's now 2-2 in that statistic. Could we get another right here?
140.
One of these days, when Richie does that, I think he's going to twist his ankle. I really hope he doesn't. I don't want him to.
140.
I thought for a second that we would have our second poke at a 9 right there. But it's still a great effort. Is he going to equalise the score? Oh, what a leg so far. 5 treble 20s in 6 darts for both players. Make that 6 for Martin. He doesn't get a 7th. And he leaves an awkward looking 98. Oh, it does get a ton. He gets the better number.
Martin, you require 98.
This would be capping off a great leg of darts. If he can find it. Treble 18. Double 12.
74.
For the second time in a row in that corner,
Richie
It's low and
require
left.
81.
Does Richie get 2 darts at double 12 himself, or does he go the 45 route? 66. Turns into 50.
56.
Oh, the
Lossie
pain.
require 24.
Oh, the pain. Is the pain magnified on double 6?
12.
Well, I did say twice in this
Richie
match,
require 25.
Adams has had an opportunity for a 16 darter, and Richie needed to find a 5 visit leg to break. It's all coming down to this, because he finds that 5 visit leg, and that's what breaks Martin Adams. They're seeing the funny side of it right now, but there is a few quid on the line in this one. And the title of Week 2 champion,
6th leg, it's
Burnett,
Richie to throw first.
on the cusp
Game on.
of winning. What happens to Richie Burnett on Saturday nights and Sunday mornings? Because he scrapes through certain groups, and then when it comes to finals, he plays proper darts.
180.
He delivers the 6th 180 of this match, and his 4th. Properly staring at the graphic at the back of the room, getting some focus from somewhere.
81.
Oh, to be in the mind of a dart player. It'll be like being on a roller coaster with no end.
140.
He really wanted that 9 darter, didn't he? Well, what he could get is £2,000, a trip to Champions Week, and the title of Week 2 champion. He is so close now. That's a great last start. Again, I disagree with the tactics, but it paid off. 6 treble 20s in this leg have given him 81 to win.
44.
And
Richie
there is nothing that Martin
81.
Adams can do about it. Double 18. And he finishes the week
and the match.
as the
Richie
champion.
Burnett.
Richie Burnett comes back to Saturday night and Sunday morning, and it's very, very fruitful for the Prince of Wales. He wins this battle, but they will do battle again, I'm sure, in a few weeks' time. An 11 darter to finish his week. There you see the treble 15. The double 18 has penetrated as well. It's a wonderful effort from the Prince of Wales, and he is your Week 2 champion in Phase 5. He was the better player overall statistically, but you have to say that there were some key missed doubles from Martin Adams in Leg 5, and indeed along the way. But we're going to take a short break for a period of about 8 days. We're going to bid you adieu for now, as I am, Paul the Asset Nicholson, signing out for now. But thank you for your company on Sporty Stuff TV tonight and, of course, this morning. But enjoy the World Grand Prix over the course of the next week. We will take a short break.